with the coming calamities that definitely seem planned, at least scripted, but long drawn out plan, perhaps by those foreigners from the Middle East, the Caucasus Mountains, who for generation after generation have not done their own will, not lived their own lives, but have been carrying out the will of their parents and grandparents, aka the dead, because they are those foreigners that taught us, good Europeans. They had taught us the ultimate goal was death. That was the best. With the closing of their management, because their dogma of many names and many styles, but is one dogma, would be Christianity, Islam, Judaism, wokeism, or the current, what we currently call government, no matter where you are. All one dogma. Their dogma had already taken its last gasp. It's dead. They're just trying to hold something together. But I assume that they sense that their time is up. It's just a car crash already happened. They know their influence of life and nature hating, hating everything as natural, is out. So it's like if you are playing the game Risk and you know you're gonna lose, but you decide to take someone out with you. The calamities happening. It's needed. Some, not many, but some will learn to let go, to basically no longer hold on to everything that they were taught, the mono brain. They'll start doing things like honoring the ways of their ancestors, but with a new fervor and a new brand, in many ways a brand new, with these earthquakes coming, new fountains will emerge, and they'll learn to love this life again. To seek not a sterile, stagnant, and dead heaven somewhere else, but to seek a lively heaven and everlasting life by embracing what it means to live here. And new emotions and powers will arise from such people. But to suffer what they still cling to, so much of it is actually foreign to their DNA. They must suffer it until they finally earn it in their own way by saying, I tried, I'm letting go, I'm willing to make a new mistake. This God of fear that was programmed, this God of truth as a lie, let go. See what happens. Take the chance. But to try to save him, life is a game, and it takes good players. What's coming is required, but with it will be a birthing of a new people, and they'll no longer be concerned with not stepping over others and being polite and all that, all the morals, which is actually unmoral and unpolite to them, and stepping all over them. Earlier today I watched, I think it's Odin's Children, and this, I don't know what it was. This LGB YMCA BLT thing was crying in front of the camera about being misgendered. Which, by the way, I think with those type of people, I think a good thing to say to them, because it's not, in their books, it's not necessarily, it sounds like it's being inconsiderate, but it's not. The LG, BLT, YMCA people say, what are you? What are you? What? Anyways, this thing was crying all that stuff, and most of the so-called good people, before it was the churchgoers, now it's the virtual signaling type. It's astonishing how far they'll actually go, altering themselves just so they can have their slave type attempts, which awareness is now waking up and throwing out, whether it be the churchgoers or the woke, libtard, LGBT, YMCA types. It's astonishing how far that they'll actually alter themselves, like taking experimental needle crafts, just so they can attempt to use such things as means of power over others. Oh, look, I'm a good person. I did blah, 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 blah. I mean, they'll kill themselves just so they can have that, their disgusting, hypocritical, nonsensical, absurd means of power. Like, good. It's fucking nuts. People will abuse and abuse. They had been in charge, but their time's up. Life wants to live at its highest intensity by those brave enough to do so. But to do so is to let go of. Life will always change, must let go and recreate. But for one to create, one must often destroy. So with this calamity, coming. The 46 and Tours. If you don't know of the song by Tool, look up the explanation of that song and that song. It's pretty good. The 46 and Tours will arrive to themselves when they're just totally done with trying to negotiate with insanity. Now, I think the 46 and Tours, they've been spending a lot of their energy trying to just maintain being like everyone else, when really they should just be maintaining what it means to become who they are. Within them is this chaos, and I'm going to cut this video off pretty short, but all the talk with the Biden about the biggest threat America is this, the white pride, and it's just there's a concern. It's almost like since they've been trying to fight, they're just actually increasing the 46 and Tours, which will come no other way other than those known for exploring anything there is to explore. Now, don't get me wrong, there are many noble types of many people. Bob Marley being one of them. I said in one of my videos recently, started off with, most people think great God will come from the sky, take away everything and make everybody feel high. But if you know what life is worth, you will look for yours on earth. Now you see the light, stand up for your right. Re-listen to that song. I think they, or if they didn't, we should. He was a king of some sort, Bob Marley, which is also, I think, half white. But he's a noble kind of his people. But to explore this new thing, he said it can't come any other way. So much emphasis on the South Pole. Oh, what's going on in the South Pole? What is going on in the South Pole? Maybe it's the North Pole. Russia, right? What's going on in Russia? What's in mid-Russia? Where are people like me actually from? They say we had re-entered Europe just like seemingly out of nowhere. Like we're aliens. Maybe the churches that have been the gravestone on every godman that does not want the godman to return by any means necessary. The Abrahamic has not wanted the godman to return. Maybe it's been able to return for quite some time, but now it must. It's inevitable. But from the east, Asia, fire came the blonde beast into the continent of water. And now, maybe just one of them is also gaining the element of earth and air on the continent of the feathered serpent. Oh, my brothers, blessed selfishness. Do not be considerate of thy neighbor. Your neighbor hates you, hates everything great about you, but won't say it to your face because they're cowards. Whether it be in Europe or Asia or wherever, maybe Australia. Speaking of Australia, my dad told me a story the first time he ever saw a black person. It was Aboriginal. It's about 11 o'clock or so. I think I've told the story before. I'm adding a new part to it. New observation. He came across this Aboriginal that around 11:30 or something like that was staring and pointing directly at the sun gazing. He had his right foot in the dirt, but he had his left foot on his right knee. So he had one in the dirt and one in the air. And then my dad, whose parents came from Latvia, and went through the cattle cars where they shot Latvians, one bullet per two Latvians, as they were miscounting on purpose, quite often, recent stops. Made it to Germany, those flattened. America wouldn't accept them, so they went to either Brazil or Australia. Went to Australia. My dad was born in a refugee camp. Anyways, my dad was about 10 or 12. Saw this Aboriginal. They didn't even acknowledge him. Had one foot in the dirt, one foot in the air. And now, here I am in the land, the feathered serpent, represented by dirt and air. Ooh. Rambling.